Hey, what's happening, guys? My name is College Sports Survived. So glad you're back for another installment of the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring Coach Carter and Fordham Rams basketball. I know I'm very late to the party, but happy Thanksgiving to all out there. I hope you had a great feast and spent some time with family, and as December rolls around, let's keep safe and keep the holiday spirit as the countdown to Christmas begins. Happy holidays from me to you. But Coach Ken Carter, our main man, hasn't been focused much on the turkey and mashed potatoes over the holiday season, and that's because his appetite for winning and recruiting success has become very filled. His Rams have won 5 straight entering episode 26, the longest win streak of the series, and gained 2 huge signees last episode. Philly boy Pat Park and the coach's kid Damian Carter. They'll be headlining the recruiting class into next season, filling some big holes for us. We've also become the favorites for 7-footer Lloyd Hicks, who led the country in rebounds per game among all high schoolers, and volume shooter Timo Cruz, who looks excited to play for his former high school coach at the next level as well. So it's safe to say we've been winning on and off the floor here in Season 3, but Coach Carter still wanted that last piece of pumpkin pie, and that would be the 4-star forward Martin Beeler. Not only was Martin my personal favorite recruit on our target board, but he was also near the top of the high school landscape in scoring, and that made it all the more shocking when the Hofstra pride out of the CAA pulled the rug out from underneath us. Definitely a tough blow. But since you saw me last, Coach Carter has been hunting down a wing prospect he likes to take over that scholarship he offered Beeler, and he's found 2 4-star wings that have plenty to offer. We'll meet the first one now, Jared Demboya. He's a 13-point per game scorer with super high efficiencies, and this 4-star wing looks like he's ready to produce in a big way offensively as a freshman. Still a lot to learn about Demboya, including his priorities, but this Miami kid may favor a Florida school over Fordham, so don't get your hopes up. It's all good though. We'll be meeting the second small forward at the end of the episode that Coach Carter's got his eyes on, and he's got some game, I promise you that. The Rams have won 7 of 8 to open up Season 3 as we know, and have a chance to add 4 more wins entering conference play. We'll be simming Binghamton and Robert Morris today, 2 very winnable games, and hopping into Drexel and then East Carolina on New Year's Eve. Those games are pretty evenly matched, but if we keep doing what we're doing, there shouldn't be much of a problem. The Binghamton Bearcats are possibly the easiest team on our year 1 schedule, and that reigns true with a 30-point home win for Fordham, who hasn't lost as the host team yet this season. Higgins and Pinkala star as we win our 4th consecutive home game. And then we head to Pennsylvania to tangle with the Drexel Dragons next, a very evenly matched game on paper against an opponent who plans to wreak havoc every single night. This Drexel team is a run and gun squad with shades of the 40 minutes of hell game plan that the Arkansas Razorbacks used to run in the 90s. A full court trap on one end and a shoot 'em up attack on the other. The Dragons have a top 5 player in the conference as well, Dylan Alford. He is a gamer, 20 points per night on the year, great speed for his stature, and they built this thing around him, and it's paid off in big dividends. They're a 3-point shooting team that shoots 36%, and that's due in part to all the attention that he commands. And playing backup point guard for Drexel is a familiar face. It's Grant Namick, who was on our Season 1 recruiting board. He caught our eye with his passing ability, and that's translated to college as well, leading the Drexel Dragons so far this season in assists despite coming off the bench. Unfortunately, the crowd audio file got corrupted in this Drexel game, so I'll be pumping in my own artificial crowd like it's COVID again. Our Fordham Rams are currently enjoying their most successful run of the entire series here in Season 3, but it remains to be seen if we can keep up with this run and gun attack of the 7-4 Drexel Dragons. So receiving a screen here is the 2-guard Matt Coleman right out of the blocks fast. You're seeing 15 seconds into the game and the Dragons are already attacking the Fordham Rams. Here comes Franklin Stores. It's rotated around to the top of the key. It's Stores for 3. What a start for the Dragons, as Fordham looks a little bit overwhelmed here in the early goings, but they break the press this time. But it will be a very common occurrence to see that full court 1-2-1-1 trap from the Dragons. This Drexel team, very scary on the offensive end. Here's Franklin Stores. He did it earlier from behind the line. Now from the top of the key with that quick little escape dribble. And then Fabian Swanson, not a bad job breaking the press and not a bad idea to go quick there. But he is a very hard guy to challenge inside. Dylan Alford, that is. And now Drexel pours it on. 11-2 here in the first 2 minutes of the contest, already off to a bad start as Fordham. They've really done a good job getting out to good starts at the beginning of first halves and second halves, but not the case this game. Before the double team comes, we see Dylan Alford for 2 more points. On the bright side, at least, we haven't seen a turnover for the Fordham Rams since that first possession, as Preston Murphy and Fabian Swanson do a little give and go action. Murphy from 3, as he is the 3-point taking leader on the team. That's now 37 3-pointers attempted on the year's 12th make, 32% from 3, and then a little backdoor feed on the next possession for Drexel. Just no defense being played inside or out for the Fordham Rams. It's really hard to see what the problem is, but it's a 20-9 game, as it looks like Fordham hasn't even gotten off the team bus yet. 10 minutes to go, backdoor feed inside as Swanson links up with Preston Murphy for a second time here in the early goings. Really nice design play there, and then Preston Murphy, excellent body control as always for the senior out of Trent, New Jersey. So still not a lot of defense being played, but now it's not really being played by either side as Fordham starting to get things going. 27-18, 7 and some change left to go. And here is 2 more points for Dylan Alford. We're trying to bring a double to the 20-point per game scored out of the Bronx, but unfortunately, he's just too smart. He sees it coming and he gets a shot at top ahead of the double team, as then Bennett Binkala, maybe a little frustrated as the freshman's had a really tough day defensively, gets his second basket, and now we're starting to bring a press of our own, but here comes Webb down the lane, a little kiss off the glass. So Drexel just having an answer for everything here. They've already reached 40 points. As it continues to be a track meet, the Rams rush it up the other direction, and it's another nice feed by Fabian Swanson, this time delivering a delicious dime to Kaya Hendry, who saw his best game as a Fordham Ram last episode. 17 points against Rutgers in that upset win. 27 points to 42. 3 minutes to go against the zone as Fabian Swanson with his first bad decision, but great hustle by Higgins getting back and getting the deflection and the nice pass to Preston Murphy inside. Murphy's been the guy to really get things going for Fordham. He was our first consistent scorer, and now the teammates have finally followed along a little bit. As we put up 35 here in the first half, we have a chance to cut this lead down to size a little bit. We can make it 10. 5 seconds to go. Hendry, bad decision there, as the turnovers unfortunately did seem to come back near the end of the first half. That's the freshman's second, and that'll be your halftime score. 47-35. Wow, Fordham. They're about league average in points per game allowed in the A10, but today, not a lot of defense being played by either side. 7 turnovers as a team, that is not a good mark, especially since with these quarters and these sliders we play on, getting around 10 is a pretty high margin for, or rather high total for turnovers, as both Franklin Stores and Dylan Alford made their way into double digits for the Drexel Dragons, with guys like Matt Coleman not too far behind. Higdon for 3 to get us going, no good, but we cannot allow that. When we get that first miss, we got to check out and keep Alford off the glass, but he's been murdering us in the low post all day long. And then there's Fabian Swanson, who's been beating the press a lot with his vision, but this time it's his finishing and body control that gets it done. 56-42, still some time to get back into this game, but this team is too good. We cannot trade baskets. We need some stops as we cut over to our offense again. Higgins, uncontested, top of the key against the zone. He finds a soft spot. Higgins has been pretty awesome this senior season. He was definitely the leader for us in those wins over UVA and Rutgers. 15 against the Cavaliers and then 14 against the Scarlet Knights, but we need the senior to be a leader again for us. Stores is off the mark, but here comes Dylan Alford. Bouncing up with the vertical. Look at this, the spin move around Bennett Binkala, and then he out-muscles the freshman at the point of attack. Oh man, Bennett Binkala, really rough showing today, as he's had an issue with the 6'11 senior out of the Bronx, New York. 2 guys from the Bronx going to battle inside, but unfortunately Alford has had the upper hand, and now Drexel wants to go inside. Matt Coleman bounced pass to Franklin Stores as Corey Terrell checks in relief of Bennett Binkala, as Bennett has had a really tough day today, so we're just trying to get him a quick breather, as we see Chen Li inside trying to go right at McMillan and Alford inside to no avail. Grant Namick for three. The interest for Coach Carter is off the mark as Terrell, nice outlet pass as Murphy puts his foot into the ground and explodes to the rack. Should have been going to him more here in the second half. That's only his first basket of the final 15 minutes. 70-55, Drexel well in control still putting up points. As here's Shannon Ames, the power forward, kicking it back out to David Webb for three. That's his second basket, and that'll be all she wrote as Drexel cruises to a home victory here, 84-63, over top of the Coach Carter-led Fordham Rams, snapping our win streak at 5. Not only does Drexel do that, but they also hand us the worst loss in terms of margin of defeat for Fordham this year, and hang the most points that this defense has been hung on. Alford 24, 8, 4, 2, and 2. What a line, as his Drexel Dragons played their style, and when they got going and confident, we just couldn't hang. Not enough energy on our defensive rotations, and just it was a walk in the park inside. We gave up so many points in the paint. 3 scores in double digits for us. We had Higgins, Murphy, and Pincala. They held their own on offense, but it was a rough day for the freshman Pincala on the other side of the court. Franklin Stores was also money all day. He had 22 as a Drexel point guard. Really gave Kai Hendry all he could handle. To be fair, we were due to not show up for a game. We even had some things to go our way to even have a losing streak that long, so no need to panic in my opinion. Still plenty of time to turn it around as we try to bounce back, and another tune-up game for us, this time against Robert Morris. And we do. We improved to 5-0 at home this year. Murphy goes off for 20 as we knock down our free throws to halt any chance of a second half run for the Colonials. Non-conference play finalizes against the Pirates of East Carolina on New Year's Eve in what should be a much more competitive game. However, ECU is as inconsistent as their 8-7 record would suggest. They're 1-0 against A10 teams, picking up a 64-60 win over the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure. However, they failed to break 50 points 5 times while breaking 73 times. So it's kind of a mystery what Pirates team you'll get day to day. And of course, it's another game, and another big-time big man is on the schedule tonight. Arkel Mooney will make it the second straight team with a 20-point-per-game scorer, 7-footer in the lineup. But Coach Carter has made preparations for this ECU game. So we'll head down to Rose Hill Gym to get a sneak peek at some of the new defensive schemes that Coach Carter wants to work on for not only this game, but he wants them so he can attack the plethora of skilled centers around the A10 conference with our league play right around the corner. A lot of really talented centers in our conference, so we want to be prepared so we don't get torn up like we did in seasons past. This may be a shock since Coach Carter is known for going man for pretty much the entirety of this legacy mode, but he wants to add some defensive zones. Firstly, a 2-3. Obviously this hurts our perimeter closeouts a bit, but I feel like our team is athletic enough outside that we might be able to get away with it. Losing Cade Sorensen's defensive presence is really starting to show the further we get into the season. So if there's a way we can limit the post-ups from these skilled centers, we're going to need to try it. A 3-2 zone was also practiced a lot throughout the week. We'll get an extra body on the perimeter and put the trust on Swanson and Pincala to roam around underneath. We just need to be sure that we're active enough to cover the corners. Teams like Temple, St. Joe's, St. Louis, and of course Charlotte, they're just too quick and strong and physical to play man-to-man the entire game. Throwing in a zone or two to spice up our defense and take away post-ups isn't a bad call at all from Coach Carter. And plus, a huge strength for this Fordham team in year 3 has been our rebounding. It's really stepped up from a team-wide perspective. Higgins has had some really awesome rebounding days, just one example. And that's important because obviously you need to worry about rebounding out of a zone. It's always a concern if you'll be able to crash the glass out of a zone defense, but I think we can handle it with how well we've been doing it. Expect these new schemes to be on display against East Carolina, and check out the Rose Hill Gym as we head to the floor. Still not exactly a sold-out gym, but the stands are starting to fill up little by little, especially when you compare it to what this gym looked like at the beginning of the series. And that's in good favor because 5 straight wins at home in Season 3 will do that. They'll fill up your stands, and number 6 is in our sights. Alright, so buckle up for our final out-of-conference game, Fordham Rams, as Evangelo Higgins turns on the chest after the pump fake works. Higgins, the first basket for either side tonight, as East Carolina and their point guard Aiden Christie trying to set things up against this zone. We're going to see a lot of 2-3 to begin, and maybe some 3-2 about halfway through the first half. That's the plan for Coach Carter. Mike Armenta, the wing, drives, dishes it around. This is Vin Boykin, the team leader in assists, as he finds his man at the top of the key and tallies another one. It's Aiden Christie, the Iron Man for ECU. He leads this team in minutes, assists, and second on rebounds as well behind Arkel Mooney. But now we find our own shot from three against the zone. ECU, that's pretty much all they play, as Kai Hendry knocks down his first shot in as many attempts. 7-6 game here. Fordham Rams trying to stick with this 2-3 zone as Kai Hendry continues to do it all here in the early goings, taking this one away, and he delivers a beautiful dish over to Preston Murphy, who stays hot. I love that delivery there across court from Hendry. The freshman starting to look the part of that four-star caliber. Every game he's getting better and better. But there is Mike Armenta fading away from three. The 6'8 junior has his first bucket. These Pirates have some sneaky good three-point shooters. Don't let it fool you. There's been a lot of offense here in the first 4 minutes, just like there was in the Drexel game. This time we're in the lead. That's the only difference. As Mooney goes baseline. Look at the athleticism from the 7-foot senior. That's something you can't allow if you're going to play a zone. You can't let anybody dice it up like that, especially not the guy you're trying to eliminate touches from. 17-14 now is East Carolina on a run. Good movement here as Murphy off the mark, but Corey Terrell, who is in for his first minutes, immediately making an impact. He actually held his own as well in the Drexel game, and he's coming off a really solid episode where he had 5-5 against UVA and then 4-4 against Rutgers. So Corey Terrell, very efficient in minutes played as this ball is swung around to Vin Boykin. But take a look at the instincts by Preston Murphy. He's had a couple block shots like this in his career throughout this entire Legacy Mode series, and we might see some more if this zone is here to stay. So we're still using that 2-3 zone, and we'll see if we can at least get a basket out of it. We don't want that beautiful defensive play to go to waste, but the entry pass is taken away. Aiden Christie for two. 28-23 as Christie has already eclipsed his season average in points, 12 for the 6'1 senior. Oh man, alright, well, let's try to get things back on track. This is the very next possession after Christie's layup. We're going to go high post. It's Corey Terrell stealing off Higgins' man, and he gets the bounce. Nice. Corey Terrell, good decision there, as Higgins has basket number 2, and this one is given up to Oyekwe. Rotated around to Christie, who finds Mike Armenta. Good closeout inside. Bunch of white jerseys that surround Armenta as Kai Hendry finds the trailer, and it is my boy Corey Terrell for 2 more. How about this? The senior off the bench, 8 quick points here in the first half, as it's 28-27. If you like offense, you've come to the right place this episode, haven't you? Mike Armenta fading away for another bucket, as both teams continue to be unconscious here in the first half. We'll live with that fadeaway though. He's not going to make that again, I bet you. 3 minutes. Here is Abdul Onyekwe as he drives through pretty much the entire team now. There's going to be some growing pains with this zone. We've only had a week to practice it, but that one right there is inexcusable. 2:12 left to go as Sean Uche puts the burners on, and then this one's rotated around to Armenta, who's been hot. Uche has it as he looks top of the key. Good movement here from East Carolina, but the double comes. Great trap out of the zone as we take it away from Mooney, and this is a beautifully textbook run fast break. As we see Murphy, who scored the ball well, receiving an assist from Hendry, who's passed the ball well. Those two have been an awesome duo here today, and those two have been probably the biggest reason why we've been battling with East Carolina, and why we're right in it as this first half winds down. That's his 3rd assist, Hendry, and Murphy is our leading scorer heading into the break if it halts here at 40-36, but we'll see if we can get one more stop. Christie pounds the rock, finds Hunley as Christie fades away. Then he receives the pass, top of the key, kick out on Yekwe for 3. It's long. Big rebound by Benkala. Will put the burners on with Murphy. Foot in the ground, offhand, and he gets it to go. Murphy with 14. as the 10th leading scorer in the conference, puts up a crooked number to put us back within a bucket. Nicely done, boys. 40-38. A lot of offense again. The zone has not really been what we expected. We played some 2-3, we played some 3-2, but now I think it's time to go back to man-to-man. We tried the zone, it didn't really work. They rebounded pretty well out of it, and yeah, it's just not the move right now. So we'll go back to man here in the second half, see how it treats us. And here we go. But you got to think, if that man does not work very well, there's going to be some cause for concern if you're Coach Carter, because that's man and zone not working for 2 days straight. As Hendry, 15 feet away, nice pass as it's freshman to freshman there. Looking baseline is Pinkala. And now we'll check in on Fordham's first man-to-man possession of the contest. I mean, we allowed 5 threes in the first half and 65% shooting, so it can't get much worse. But so far the rotations are on point. We've made the switch without much of a hitch, as Onekwe is off the mark. Good rebound there by Fabian Swanson and rotation. So pretty good look there on our first defensive possession. 42-40 now as CU takes the lead, as Murphy drives against the 2-3. Higgins doesn't like the shot, so we give it to Pinkala, and then Hendry keeps moving. Straight away, number 44 gets it to drop. 11 points for the freshman, as Fordham finally has the lead that they've been seeking. It's been a while since we've been up top. Ever since that long run by ECU, they've had the lead, but now we're finally back out in front. Armenta plays hot potato. Inside, Mooney has it stripped. It's Hendry for his second steal. I said it earlier, but Kaya has looked better episode by episode of this freshman campaign. And if he keeps this up, he's going to be a very good player for years to come. They forget about him. It's the same spot for the freshman, 6 unanswered points. Oh my goodness, he's starting to take control of this contest. We start to open it up a little bit. It's a 6-point Fordham lead, the biggest of the ball game. Under 12 to play. Good contest and an even better box out as we all helped out to keep Mooney out of the play there. Murphy, beautiful dish inside. Pinkala off the mark, but he's fighting. He pumps Mooney out of his shoes and makes him look silly. Everything going our way as this place is rocking. 50-42, Fordham on top, as we're going to try to keep the momentum going. It's been a very fun night so far, but we're going to try to stay in front. This is the biggest crowd that we've really had so far. You're really starting to see things pay off. Quick hitter for Preston Murphy. Another 3. Fordham is unconscious as Murphy's up to 17. Him and Hendry, Murphy and Kaya, they have been an awesome two-headed tandem here in the second half. The Pirates don't have an answer for either of them, as Murphy and Hendry want to continue to do damage. We'll keep it in the hands of Preston. No way he just made that. No way, this kid is unbelievable. This time he had a bigger man on him, that's Onekwe, so he just puts the burners on and he will try to challenge Mooney at the rim, who blocks over 2 shots a game, and he comes out on top. What a take there. That's gutsy. That is gutsy by Preston Murphy. 9 to play in the game. All the momentum for Fordham. They're enjoying a 17-5 run to open up the break, and it looks like it's gonna continue. Milos Filipovic, the freshman out of Eastern Europe, finds some success out on the fast break, and it seems like that even though he doesn't play a lot so far in his freshman year, Milos seems to be good for at least one big play a game, and that was the one here in the ECU game. 61-45, this crowd making some noise, and finally, it's Aiden Christie who finally ends the drought. The ECU Pirates have looked overwhelmed since we went to man-to-man. That's their first bucket since 10 minutes to play in the second half, so almost 4 minutes without a made basket. That is a long time to be empty-handed with these sliders and playing on 15-minute quarters, or rather halves. So Fabian Swanson rotates it around to Corey Terrell, who just explodes baseline to put 2 more points in. He's at 12 on the night, still hasn't missed from the field. And it's also Kai Hendry's 5th assist, as Fordham can ease their way into another win. 68-55, 2 minutes to go. I can't imagine the starters are out on the floor for much longer, as Dustin Black will give it the post up. Corey Terrell wants 2 more, and he doesn't get 2 more. He might have 3 more. 14 on the night for the senior. 7 of 7 from the entire field. I cannot believe the performance that Corey Terrell is putting on off the bench, and he might be making a case to threaten Bennett Pincala for that starting gig as he makes the free throw and checks out after a standing ovation from Fordham's faithful. What a day, what a fun night here in the Bronx. 71-57, the Rams out on top tonight as we stay undefeated at home on the season. 19 points from Murphy, 16 from Hendry, 6 assists combined, 6 3-pointers combined. Those two did it all and then some in the second half. But you can't forget about some other guys like Higgins playing great defense. Dustin Black also had a great game. And Corey Terrell, 15 to set a new career high as the former junior college transfer may be making a case to threaten Bennett Pincala for that starting gig. I mean, you think back to last episode, he had awesome performances against Rutgers and against UVA, and now 15 points in a big game against ECU. Wow, that's something. I know our zone defenses didn't exactly go in according to plan today, but if there's one thing we did successfully, it was take Mooney out of the game. 7 points on 3 for 8 shooting. He had a hard time figuring out how to attack us inside. You got to take the small victories when it comes to new regimes. Fordham now 10-2 on their third season under Coach Carter. We'll keep simming ahead to reveal the second small forward we added to our recruiting board. Don't worry, I didn't forget. I introduce you to Mr. Basketball out of the state of Massachusetts, Isaac Moore. Our final scholarship is between either Jared Doemboya or Isaac Moore, and I gotta tell you, I'm really warming up to this kid, and I'm sure you will too. He's a multiple tool player. He's got the shooting, the A- speed. He lives in the gym with B+ strength. He's aggressive at all times, and he can rebound like a big man. Look at his ABL line: 14 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, 40% from 3. It's no surprise that the 7th ranked small forward isn't high priority for schools like Boston College and UNC, but Fordham does have less ground to make up for Moore than Jared. Isaac Moore would be an awesome consolation prize after missing out on Beeler. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a higher overall than Beeler. And I'll give updates on how the small forward hunt goes as time moves on. That's pretty much all she wrote today, guys. Thanks for stopping by today. Really appreciate you spending some time on the channel. 10-2 is an awesome mark worth being excited for, but the real work starts next episode. Within the first 4 games of A10 play, we'll see the defending champs, the top 25 ranked Charlotte 49ers, twice, along with a scary St. Joe's team. So Fordham will have to become very prepared in order to compete with some of the marquee teams in this league. I'm not expecting to win these, but if we can just at least stay competitive and not get steamrolled like we did in seasons past against Charlotte and St. Joe's, that'll go a long way in my eyes. Plus, we'll be seeing LaSalle, Richmond, and St. Bonaventure shortly after, so the schedule gets a lot more manageable and a lot more winnable after those first 4 games. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think about the team and this point in the season down below in the comments section. And also let me hear your opinion on our small forward crisis. Do you like Jared Doemboya or Isaac Moore better? Definitely let me know. So that's it for today's episode, guys. Really appreciate you guys and hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys as we open up Atlantic 10 conference play next episode. So to all out there, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays as well. I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Coach Carter College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode series featuring our guys here at Fordham. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Peace, everybody. I'm signing off for today. Have a great night.